Hi everyone. Happy Self-Care Sunday. We are heading into week 4 and today's practice is going to be about 60 minutes and we are going to be working on restoring our warrior spirit. So we're going to start with a little meditation. I'm going to do a little reading. I want to let you guys know, remind you to have a bolster or a pillow. You can use some pillows from your bed or your couch. And if you're doing that and they're a little softer and squishier, you might need 2 or maybe even 3, depending on how tight your hips are and things like that. So you can modify and adjust as we go. I'm a little worried because Bruno's here at the camera. Come here, buddy. Come here, buddy. Don't knock the camera over. Okay. We got Bruno and Leo here. They are brothers, what you call brothers from a different mother, right? Come here, buddy. Lay down. Oh my gosh, goodness. Good reminder that when you're practicing your self-care, you do the very best you can if your kids are with you, your family members, your animals, that you block out distraction and carve out this time for your own self-care. Come here, Bruno. Off the mat. Off the mat. You're too big. You're too big. Come here. Come on. Come on. Okay. So to start with, I want to remind you of chill power. And of course, the quote that's behind me, don't postpone joy. And may all beings be happy and free and well. Oh my gosh, getting into trouble. And do more of what makes you happy. These are the quotes that are all around us today. And you do need a wall space, you guys, too. You can use a door, but just make sure nobody's going to be coming in the door from the other side when you're in the very last pose that we're going to do about 60 minutes from now, which is called legs up the wall. So whether you're a runner or an athlete of any kind, this is going to be a great practice for you. If you're stressed out, if you're a busy mom or dad, juggling all of the things with parenting and working, or you know what, if you're just a human, how about that? This is a good practice for everyone, and we all need to practice more restorative chill power, which I'm going to read you the definition of in a second, because all of those little things that we practice in order to fill our self-care cup, which is what we've been working on this whole challenge or reset, helps us deal with stress better. So the more that you fill your self-care cup, the more that you can restore your warrior spirit, the stronger you will be when you have to deal with whatever stress that you're dealing with. So, okay. Also, I wanted to say, if you have an eye pillow or a towel, that would be great for Shavasana, the last pose we're going to do at the wall today. So an eye pillow, some regular pillows from your couch or from your bed, or a bolster if you have a yoga bolster, a wall space. The essential oils that I'm using today are deep blue. I'll get a little closer to the camera that you can see this. Adaptive blend, which is honestly something that I've been using every day for the last 2 years. And then lavender or serenity blend are also all very wonderful. So these are things that you can put on now before we start to practice. Again, adaptive blend if you have something like that. If you don't, lavender's great. Deep blue on your neck and shoulders, on your low back if that's feeling tight. And then of course our favorite go-to lavender is always wonderful. So apply those before you practice. Maybe put a little bit in the palms of your hands, behind your ears. Take a few breaths of that. And then if you do have your pillows, you can sit up on top of them, which makes it a little bit nicer for those of us who have tighter hips. Okay, let's take a couple deep breaths in and just take a moment to get grounded and reflect back on the intentions that we set at the beginning of the challenge 4 weeks ago for the winter reset, and also take the opportunity to realign the chakras, right? Those energy centers that we worked on in week 1 as well. So you can rest your hands down onto your knees, roll your shoulders up, back, and down, and feel your posture come into alignment. So your heart is lifted, the crown of your head is reaching up to the sky, the tailbone and the base of the spine is anchoring down into the surface beneath you. And if it's comfortable for you, go ahead and close your eyes. If it's not, just soften your eyes, soften the gaze of the eyes, whatever you have out in front of you. Take a deep, calming, cleansing breath in through your nose. Try to breathe from the belly all the way up to your heart. And as you exhale, try to really let go, soften, release, surrender. And do that 2 more times. So deep cleansing breaths in and out through the nose, sending that message of peace and calm through the parasympathetic nervous system, which is in charge of rest and recovery and digestion. And as you exhale, consciously land in the present moment, right here, right now with me. And one more time, deep breath in through the nose. Feel your heart lift, your collarbone broaden, the crown of the head reach to the sky. And as you exhale, letting go, softening, being at peace in the present moment. And just take a moment to reset and reflect on the intentions that you set 4 weeks ago. Remembering that this does not have to be perfect. This is a process, a journey, and we're just taking little baby steps every day, moving towards our greater purpose, our higher potential. So just taking that moment to reflect and reset. Feeling the breath come in and out through the nose. And with your next inhale, go ahead and draw your hands to your heart center space. Feel the hands pressing together. Bow your chin to your chest and just be grateful for this time that we have together, making sure that you're honoring and carrying your intentions from this moment into your practice and into your life. Go ahead and take a deep breath in. Gather good positive energy for our practice today. Reach for it. And exhale, draw in and back to your heart center space. Good. Now this is going to be a very restorative practice today. If you came from a run or you already did a workout, that's great, but it's really a wonderful practice to do at any time. So I want to start with the reading, and all of you have this handout at the beginning of our 4-week reset that has the definition of willpower, chill power from my book, and the flexible warrior basic principles. So really what we're going to be working on today is chill power. And it is a word that I did make up, and I do love when people tag me on Instagram and Facebook or whatever and use the word that I made up. I think it makes such perfect sense. I feel like it should be in the dictionary because, you know, flexible warrior is clearly about the balance of opposites. It's the warrior spirit. It's doing hard things, challenging ourselves, getting out of our comfort zone. And then the flexible part is, as we always talk about, is flexibility in our minds as well as our bodies. Well, the willpower, chill power is the same thing. It's a balance of opposites. And it's yin and yang, too, if you're familiar with those terms. So this is going to be a yin practice today, a yin restorative practice. All right, the definition of chill power is this: the ability to let go and be at peace with what is. To consciously choose to relax and surrender into a state of calm in order to recharge and rebuild. To practice flexibility in mind and in body. To go with the flow. To be resilient, I love that word, and pliable. Capable of bending without breaking and able to respond to unplanned or altered circumstances and changing conditions, which is what we're constantly dealing with. So when we're stiff and rigid in our minds and in our bodies, we just can't go with the flow, whether it's a physical thing, right, where you need to move a little bit more freely, or it's a mental thing where we need to, not be stuck in whatever we feel stuck in at the moment. So that's the chill power factor. So let's go ahead and start our practice. So you can make your way into child's pose. If you are sitting up on a bolster or a pillow, you can just move it out of your way. And we will need it soon enough, so keep it in close distance. As always, you honor, protect, and listen to your body. Only you can feel what you're feeling. So you have to respond and know that your body is sending you messages all the time. So sitting your hips back onto your heels, take a deep breath in and out through your nose. Allow your forehead to drop to the mat. We're just going to take a few breaths here in child's pose. If your forehead isn't quite touching the mat today, stack your fists on top of each other and rest your forehead on your fists. Again, deep, calming, cleansing breaths in and out through the nose, reflecting on the intention you set. And in week 1, we worked on the chakras, those energy systems along the spine. Remembering the 3rd eye chakra, where your forehead is either resting to your hands or to the floor. This is the home of intuition and trusting that everything that you need to know truly does lie within you. So listen to your intuition, trust the wisdom that lies deep within you, and make it a priority. Continue to honor and protect the warrior spirit that lies deep within you. Taking a deep breath in and out through the nose, feel the breath come deep into the belly and low into the lungs. Feeling calm, grounded, and very intentional. Take one more very deep breath in. Allow the energy from the hips to drop down. Allow the shoulders to soften. Allow the jaw to release. Letting go. Follow your next inhale up to your hands and your knees. So check that your knees are right underneath your hips and your hands are right underneath your shoulders. The focus of your eyes is straight forward, and you just notice the straight line from the crown of the head to the tailbone. That's good alignment. So remember, we always want to align our physical body, but also our alignment needs to be from our actions and our intentions to, yes, our actions are aligned with our intentions. So it's a physical thing and it's a mental thing. We're going to warm up the spine a little bit very gently. So we're going to inhale, lift the tailbone up, drop the ribcage down, open the collarbone and the heart, draw the chin away from the chest, crown of the head to the sky. As we exhale, we're going to tuck the tailbone under, press the palms, mindfully move through the spine, chucking the chin to the chest, hollowing the belly and pushing through the hands to stretch the low back. As we inhale, we'll lift the tailbone up, drop the ribs down, open the collarbone, and the heart is open to receive. As we exhale, we tuck the tailbone around the spine, hollow the belly, chin to chest, push through the palms, round the spine, stretch the low back. Let's do that a few more times. Try to integrate the vertebra one at a time. Try to connect your movement with your breathing. And just move at a pace that feels good and right for you. And if you can, close your eyes here. So you're really extra mindful of how your back is feeling and the messages that the body is sending to you. Listen, listen, listen. This is also just a great simple exercise for the chakras to get that energy moving along the spine. You feel it from the crown of the head to the tailbone and all the way through every single energy center through the spine. Let's do one more time. Exhale as you tuck and round. And inhale back to neutral. Go ahead and sit your hips back onto your heels. We're going to come back into child's pose. And we're going to do a half Vinyasa flow. And this is just a nice little gentle warm up for the spine and the body. So sitting the hips back onto the heels, take a deep breath in. And draw forward your hands and the knees. And we're going to keep this modified today. So with your hands under your shoulders, your knees under your hips, you're going to exhale and bend and lower the elbows down. As we inhale, we're going to open up into a cobra, shoulders back and down. And as we exhale, we'll push back into child's pose. Now you can stay in child's pose. I'm just going to tilt the camera down just a hair because I can see that you can't totally see me. So there we go. That's probably a little bit better. You can totally see Bruno now too. He's super happy this morning. Always happy on his yoga mat. Okay, inhale, shift forward again. We're modified with our plank today. Again, a very gentle practice. So modified plank just means bent knees. As you bend your elbows, they slide by the ribs and you lower all the way to the back, to the mat. As we inhale, we're going to open up to a gentle baby cobra. Again, you're honoring and listening to your body. So just stay as low as you feel like you need to, or come up a little higher if that feels good for you. Release back to child's pose as you exhale. Hips to heels, forehead to your mat. Let's do that a few more times. Again, follow your breath and just go at a pace that feels good for you. Some of you are a little bit more advanced. Maybe you're feeling super energetic today. You want to do full plank. You want to go a little faster. That's fine. Do it. And then some of you are in slow motion like I am today. Modifying and going gentle and moving a little slower. And sometimes slow is exactly what you need. Make sure their shoulders are down from the ears, okay? So they're shrugging up here, mindfully pull them down. And just do that half Vinyasa flow one or two more times at a pace that feels good and right for you. So you know you are listening to your body. You are trusting your intuition. You know you're doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing for yourself. Okay, one more at your own pace. And then we're going to do a pose called Crocodile, which I really love, which is basically Shavasana in the reverse. Okay, so you're going to come all the way down onto your belly, and you can separate your feet a hip distance apart or wider if you have the space to do that, which I don't, because my baby Bruno is, I would kick him if I took my feet wider apart. But feet hip distance apart or wider if you can. And then your forehead is resting to your hands. So your hands are stacked on top of each other and your forehead is resting to your hands. Now what I want you to do is take a deep belly breath and just feel the feedback that you get from the floor. As you breathe into your belly, feel and notice the breath coming deep into the belly, into the floor and the surface beneath you. And as you exhale, just soften. Let the frame of your body let go, release. You are a warrior, but you are stronger and more resilient when you practice this chill power and this self-care. So for now, you are intentionally letting go, being at peace with what is, practicing self-care, mindful breathing. And as we're folded down, we can reset intention here, consciously going inward, blocking out distraction and anything that's going in and around the world and around your house, consciously slowing down and breathing deeply, letting go and surrendering. One more deep belly breath here. And exhale, let it go. So the intention together as our group is to restore our warrior spirit, acknowledging that we are stronger and more resilient in challenging times when we come from a restored place. Slide your hands back under your shoulders. Gently push back to child's pose. Let it go. And then go ahead and come up to your hands and knees and have a seat again, either on your pillow or bolster or straight on the floor if your hips are feeling a little more open. And we are going to practice a breathing exercise called 4-7-8 breath. Now, a lot of you that have been with me for a while, you've practiced this exercise before, so it's a little bit more common and you've already done it, so you know what to expect. And for others, if it's brand new for you, breathing exercises take practice just like everything takes practice. So it's new for you, patience and kindness with yourself, and know that it comes with time. So this exercise 4-7-8, you're going to be breathing in for 4 counts. You're going to be holding your breath for 7 counts, which is an amazing thing to do for all athletes and for all humans because we forget how to breathe well and completely. And then we're going to be exhaling for 8 counts. And what that does is it incorporates or helps to induce the parasympathetic nervous system, which again is in charge of the rest and recovery. So from an easy seated pose, or you can lie down on your back if you're more comfortable doing that. You can bring one hand onto your heart center, your right hand onto your heart center, and your left hand onto your belly. And again, if you're comfortable, close your eyes. If not, keep them gently open. So we're going to breathe in for 4 counts. Okay, so just take a normal breath to prepare, normal breath. And we breathe in for 4. So here we go. Breathe in for 4, 3, fill the belly all the way up to the heart. Once you hold at the top of your breath for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, exhaling for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now just take a normal breath. Again, if that was your first time practicing it, we're going to repeat it a few times. Hopefully you'll continue to feel calmer and calmer as we go. Okay, so here we go. Breathing in for 4. Breathe in from the belly all the way up to the heart. Once you feel your lungs are full, hold your breath. 7. And exhale slowly for 8, Feel as if the air is seeping out like a balloon slowly emptying. Keep exhaling until your lungs are completely empty. Engage the navel chakra. Squeeze the belly back to the spine to empty your lungs. Take a normal breath again, just a normal, easy breath. Be calm, be present, resetting that intention, calm energy. We're going to do it one more time. Okay, so here we go. Breathing in for 4. From the belly all the way up to the heart. Once your lungs are completely full, hold your breath for 7. Exhale for 8 and feel the tension melting with the exhale. Relax your jaw, relax your shoulders. Keep exhaling until your lungs are completely empty, and then just breathe normally. Perfect. Now we're going to come back to that a little bit later on, but I just wanted to do 3 rounds of it now so that you kind of know what it is once we get to Shavasana later on. Okay, keep your bolster out of your way, but close by, or your pillows, and lie down on your back. And not yay, because Bruno's not here, but now I have a little bit more mat space. So lying down on your back, we're just going to do a few easy stretches. And we're going to repeat these twice, one here and then one at the wall. And hopefully you'll feel a little bit more open as we go. One hand on top of each kneecap, just give it an easy stir around. So this is called knee stir. So one hand on top of each knee, and you're just circling around in one direction. Good, nice and easy, very, very calming. So circles are always calming. Pull those knees as close to your chest as you can, and then go ahead and reverse the circle. Go the same thing, but the opposite direction. Easy circle again, and the closer that you draw those knees to the chest, the more you might feel a stretch through the low back, or maybe even the hips if you're feeling tight there. One more time, and then we're going to start with Reclined Pigeon. So all I want you to do is put the right foot on the floor and bring the left ankle over the right knee, flexing the left foot. You're going to pick that right foot up from the floor, slide your hands underneath your right thigh. Now, most of you are very familiar with this stretch. You're used to doing it. You've done it either with me or on your own before. This is a hip stretch, and you're probably feeling it in the left hip. Now, the nose needs to be pointed straight up to the ceiling. Notice the energy from the hands pulling up on the hamstring a little bit, and then the energy from the ankle pushing back into the thigh to open up that left hip. Nose is pointed to the ceiling, chin is a little bit tucked to the chest. And we're breathing in and out through the nose to get that nice stretch through the left hip. We're just going to go through some very basic stretches. Take one more very deep breath, and if you can, push the right thigh up into the left ankle a little bit more and push the left ankle back into the right thigh. And then go ahead and release that right foot down onto the mat and extend the left leg straight up to the ceiling, taking your hands underneath your left hamstring. Again, easy hamstring stretch. We're going to do a circle. So with your hands underneath that left hamstring, I just want you to circle that left leg around. So the circle is coming from your hip, not from your knee or from your ankle right now. And you're just calmly and slowly guiding that left leg around in a circle. The bigger you make the circle, the more you'll feel it in the hamstring. Okay, do that 1 or 2 more times this direction. We're going to go do the same thing in the other direction. So go ahead and go around the other way, circle it around. Notice what you're doing with your head and your neck and your shoulders. Keep those relaxed. We certainly don't want to create any tension there. Good, good, good. And then go ahead and release that. Hug that knee close to the chest. Give it a big hug. Thigh to rib cage. Tightly into the chest. And then go ahead and release the left foot onto the mat, and let's get those same 3 stretches on the other side. So you're just going to take that right ankle over the left knee. The right knee externally rotates out to the side. And then you pick that left foot up from the floor, hands underneath the thigh. Again, just notice what you're doing with your neck. So what tends to happen with people that have hips is their chin will jut up to their chest and the shoulders will jut up to the ears. Okay, that's when the right hip is really tight, right? And you're going to see when we get this to the wall that it's going change that a little bit in some ways. So what I want you to mindfully do, if your hip is feeling tight, pull the shoulders back and down and draw the chin to the chest. And that brings you into better alignment. Take a deep breath into the belly. Practice that deep belly breath. And as you exhale, gently push that left thigh up into the right ankle. Push the right ankle back into the left thigh. And you're going to feel that right knee externally rotate a little bit more, deepening the stretch. Nice and easy for one more breath. And as you exhale, you let it go. Let that left foot drop to the mat. Extend the right leg straight up. There's no magical poses here. These are very old poses, but so effective when you do them. That's the key. Hands underneath the right thigh. And then we're going to make that circle around with your right leg straight. So imagine you're just drawing a circle in the ceiling with your right foot. What are you doing with your shoulders? What are you doing with your breathing? Adjust if you need to in any way that feels good and right and relaxes you a little bit more. Good, reverse that circle. Do the same thing. Go the other way. Nice and easy and slow. Again, the bigger the range, the bigger the circle, the more you'll feel the stretch in different parts of your hamstring. Go ahead and finish up that circle. Give that thigh a big hug to the rib cage. You can either have your hands under your thigh or you can bring them over the shin, which maybe allows you to go a little bit deeper with that knee to chest stretch. And then go ahead and release that foot down to the floor. And what we're going to do next is just called Reclined Cobbler's pose or Reclined Butterfly. So I want you to let the knees fall out to the side and rest your hands onto your belly. So the bottoms of your feet are rolling together, but the knees are opening out to the side. And your hands are relaxed on your belly, but your shoulders are down from your ears. So maybe just walk those shoulders slightly down and slightly in. Take a deep belly breath. And while you stay in this restorative pose, we're just going to gently go back through the chakras that we did a couple weeks ago. Just as a reminder, and before we do that, I want you to once again reset your intentions. Ask yourself, if you're not sure, how do I want to feel? Peace. You can never go wrong with that. Joy. Happiness. Relaxed. Brave. There's no right or wrong answer. Just ask yourself, how do I want to feel? And reset those intentions. And just very mindfully going through the chakras, starting with the root chakra, the base of the tailbone, feeling grounded and grateful. The mantra is, I am secure, grounded, and protected. Letting go of anything that is standing in your way between where you want to be and the greater version of yourself. Moving upward from there, awareness on the navel chakra, the sacral chakra. I create with passion. I honor my relationships, nature, and my emotions. I nourish my warrior spirit. Moving up from there, the base of the ribs is the solar plexus chakra. Take a deep breath into the belly again and remind yourself, I am positive and empowered. I am confident and worthy. I am a warrior. I persevere through challenges. I honor, protect, and listen to my body. Moving up from there, again, take a deep belly breath all the way from the belly up to your heart chakra. I give and receive love openly. I practice self-care with gratitude. I am open to love and compassion. And I understand that love and compassion needs to begin with me. That's what self-care is all about. Moving up from there is the throat chakra. Take a deep belly breath again. I speak my truth. I express myself with love and compassion. Moving up from there is the third eye chakra, right between the eyebrows. Take that deep belly breath in again. Relax completely. I listen to the universal wisdom. I trust my intuition to guide me. I am blessed with peace of mind. I listen to my inner wisdom. And moving up one more chakra from there, the crown chakra. Take that deep belly breath one more time. I trust that I am divinely guided. I am connected to my higher power. More and more, I am moving towards my highest self. Take one more breath and imagine, if you could, you're breathing all the way up the length of your spine. And as you exhale, let go. Breathe down the length of your spine. Feeling that warrior spirit restored more and more with each breath that you take. You can draw your hands outside of your knees, you're outside of your thighs, and draw your knees back together and hug them back into your rib cage to chest. Rock it around a little bit from right to left. You can roll to one side and push yourself up into a seated position. And now we're going to grab that bolster or that pillow. Okay? So letting your hips sit back onto your heels, this time in child's pose, you're going to have that bolster underneath, like between your thighs or your knees, and then you're going to rest either your head down to the side and your hands out in front of you, or you can rest your hands under your forehead like we practiced earlier. But the pillow or pillows, if you need a couple more, are between the thighs. The knees are out, open to the side. And again, the head is turned either to the side with your arms outstretched in front, or you can have your head facing down with your forehead resting on your hands. Wherever you're choosing to be, whatever feels good for you, relax into the bolster and the pillows. Let it go. Breathe deeply. Take this moment to send that positive energy from the breath into every cell of your body. And let's practice that 4-7-8 breath again here. So as you breathe in, try to send the breath in for 4 counts as deeply as you can into the ribs. Hold the breath at the top. And then slowly exhale for 8 counts, feeling the tension melt and soften and release with your exhalation. Practice that again if you can. If it feels uncomfortable for any reason, just breathe normally, deeply. But if you continue to practice that 4-7-8 breath, it will continue to send a message of peace and calm into your central nervous system. Parasympathetic, rest, recharge, digest. And you can repeat that in your mind. Rest, recharge, digest. And then follow your next inhale up to your hands and knees, and you can move your bolster off of the right side of your mat. And we're going to use it for pigeon stretch, but we're going to start with the downward dog first. So I want you to go ahead and spread those fingertips out wide, straighten the legs, and lift the hips up to the sky in a downward facing dog. And feel free to pedal out and move around a little bit. If you have any creaks or pops in the ankles and the feet, move gently from side to side, just pedaling. Consciously slowing down. So if you are a type A and a warrior that's always moving forward, trying to get more miles in or to go faster and stronger and all of those amazing things, which are good to do, now's your opportunity to slow down consciously and mindfully. Chill power. The more chill power you practice right now, the more willpower you have later on. Okay, let's go ahead and draw the right knee to the right wrist for a pigeon stretch. The right knee's at the right wrist. You're going to take your pillow or your bolster and slide it underneath your right hip. So it's right underneath that right hip and butt cheek, basically. Your left kneecap is pointed straight down on the floor. I want you to lift and open your heart chakra. Again, the heart is open to love and receiving compassion, starting with ourselves. And then go ahead and release down to your pigeon stretch. So once again, you can stack your fists on top of each other. Forehead can be down on the mat. Relaxing into your pigeon stretch. And practice that breathing exercise again. So you can practice that 4-7-8 breath if that feels good for you. You can practice that anywhere. In your car if you're feeling stressed, in the line at the grocery store, wherever. So if you practice it now, you can carry it off of your mat and into other stressful moments in your life. Consciously let go of any tension through that hip. And for those of you who are a little more open through the hip, move that bolster or pillow out of the way and go a little deeper down into the stretch if you can. Let it go. You're going to stay here for 1 or 2 more breath cycles. Consciously let go. If you're gripping in the hip, if you're feeling tight or restricted in any way, send the positive healing energy of your breathing into the tight places. And then from there, we're going to go ahead and repeat that restorative child's pose on the bolster and then get it on the other side with pigeon. So take your time to slide your right shin back to your left shin. Take that bolster again, put it between the thighs and the knees. Knees are out really wide. The wider you want to go is all good. So just listen to your body. If they want to go out wider, that's great. If you want to keep them in narrower, that's awesome too. You do you. Drop your forehead either down, or if you had the side of your face on your bolster, make sure you turn it to the other side. Your hands can be outstretched in front, or they can be stacked underneath your forehead. What feels best and good and right for you? The more that you learn to listen to your body now, the more that you'll be able to do it in other times in your life. Now, conscious deep breaths. With each breath that you take, you are restoring your warrior spirit. Breathe in joy. Breathe in health and happiness. Let go of fear and overwhelm, stress and sadness for the moment. Once again, reflect on your intentions. How do you want to feel? What choices are you making to get yourself closer to that? And just take 1 or 2 more breaths here and really let it go with your exhale. And take your time to come up. You're going to move the bolster or pillows off of the left side of your mat, other side, because we're going to get pigeon on the other side. And then go ahead and come into your downward facing dog. So again, make sure you've got that strong foundation. Fingertips are stretched out wide. Curl your toes, lift your hips up to the sky. Downward facing dog. And this is the second and the last one, the second and last downward dog that we're going to do today. So really get everything out of it. Again, gently pedal the heels if that feels good for you. Get the creaks and the pops out. Work those heels down. And consciously, if you are a type A and you are a go, 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 faster and stronger and all of those things, consciously slow down and do the reverse right now. So you're balancing that willpower with that chill power. Take 1 more breath, pedaling right and left if you like. And then we're going to slide the left knee to the left wrist. And again, take that bolster or those pillows and scooch them under the hips. It's such a great thing to do if you do tend to be really tight and this pose feels uncomfortable for you. Make sure the right kneecap is pointing straight down to the mat and you're not leaning to the side. Heart is lifted and open to receiving love and compassion, beginning with ourselves. And then as we exhale, we release it all the way down to the mat. And again, you can drop your forehead all the way down to the floor if that feels comfortable and is within your reach without any stress. Or you can stack your fists or your hands on top of each other and rest your forehead onto your hands. Which is a great opportunity to once again fold inward and reflect on intention and trust your intuition and the wisdom that is already within you, already inside of you. The quote that I'm seeing on the wall as I talk to you on the other side of my studio, which I'll say right now, very much resonates with me. And this is it. Dear universe, I am open to things being easier and more magical than I could ever imagine. And so let me remind you as well that when you're setting these intentions and these positive words, it's really normal, so human, to get into a place of self-criticism or blame or judgment or all of those negative emotions. But when we set positive emotions and we send them out to the universe, we're more likely to receive them because you're sending that message out. The universe hears you. And so that sounds a little woo-woo, right? But the more we can shift our energy into positivity and practicing with what's in our control, which is our own and health and wellness and our mindset, the more that we can get in alignment with our intentions. So say it to yourself one more time. Dear universe, I am open to things being easier and more magical than I could ever imagine, and be open to receiving that. Beautiful. Take your time to come off that bolster. Keep it close by because you are going to need it soon enough. And then sit yourself back into child's pose one more time, either on the bolster between the thighs, if that's feeling super awesome and comfy and amazing to you, or feel free to just sit back in regular child's pose and get a little bit more deep into that stretch. Whichever one you're choosing to do, just take one or two more deep cleansing breaths there. And then we're going to move to the wall next. So go ahead and sit yourself up and move over to your wall space. Again, if you're using a door, totally fine. Just make sure nobody's coming through that door on the other side. I'm going to pivot to the side so you can see. We're just going to repeat those two stretches we did earlier and use the wall space and see how you feel with that. It's a wonderful thing to do. You can even use, if you're in your living room and there's just a sofa close by, you can use the very end of the sofa and put your foot up on that instead. But here's where we're going to start. So your feet are up on the wall and your shins are parallel to the floor. So you've got that straight line. For those of you who are Pilates people, you're in sort of tabletop position, except you're supported because your feet are on the wall. Now you may immediately feel a release through your back. It feels really good to do that. And let's just take a moment to imprint the spine too, to release any tension that you're feeling in your low back. So all you're going to do is ground your feet into the wall and imprint and press your low back into the floor. And you can maybe peel your tailbone up an inch or two, so you're kind of rolling through the low back. And then you release it back down, so your tailbone comes back down. You take a deep breath in. Let's just do that 2 more times. So as you exhale, you pull the belly in, imprint the spine, and maybe peel the tailbone up a little bit from the mat. And then roll it back down and release it. And let's do it one more time. So this is your inhale. Exhale, belly pulls in, low back presses down, feet press into the wall, tailbone peels up, and then you slowly roll it back down. Doesn't that feel amazing? I know it does for me. Okay, so the right foot is now going to stay on the wall, right? You're going to take your left foot and put it over your right thigh. Now, if you recognize this is exactly the stretch we were in a half an hour ago when we did Reclined Pigeon on the floor. But now you don't have to use your hands and hold on. Now your hands are free. Isn't that lovely? So here's what I need you to do. First of all, I don't know about you, but if you do have a ponytail in, you might want to scooch it out of the way so your neck is in line with your spine and it's out of your way. But just be mindful of how your left hip is feeling. So if you're not feeling a strong stretch in your left hip, move closer to the wall. And if you're feeling too strong of a stretch, and it's making you cringe or quiver in any way, move away from the wall, and that's going to reduce or release some of the stretch. So modify is what feels good for you. You want to flex this left foot, and you can take your left hand on your left knee and gently push it away from your face. Or you can just relax your hands down by your side, whatever you want to do. Take a couple nice deep breaths here, and just enjoy the stretch without having to hold on. Relax and let it go. Feels really good. Again, continue to modify if you need to by moving either closer to the wall or further away. And this easy restorative pigeon stretch is such a wonderful thing to practice on a regular basis. We have to be consistent with our stretching just like we are with everything that we want results in. Take one more very deep breath in. And then go ahead and straighten that left leg straight up to the ceiling. Take your hands underneath your left thigh and then make that circle. So we're repeating the same stretch that we had earlier, just in this modified position at the wall, which should feel really good for you and your low back. And repeating stretches is a wonderful idea too, because once you go through it a second time, you're a little bit more open. Remember, the bigger you go with that circle, the more you're going to feel the stretch. And go the other way. So reverse the circle, same thing, other direction. Perfect. And then hug that knee close to your rib cage, give it a big hug, and release that left foot back onto the wall. And let's get the other side. So keeping your left foot on the wall, your right ankle goes over your left knee. Now you may immediately notice this hip feels tighter or looser. So adjust accordingly. Maybe you need to move further away from the wall. Maybe you need to move closer in. Adjust to what feels good and right for you. Your right hand can be on that right knee if you like, and you can gently push it away from your face to increase the stretch. You want to flex your right heel. And you want to deeply breathe in and out through the nose into the belly. Restorative pigeon. Take one or two more belly breaths. And then slowly release and extend that right leg straight up to the ceiling, hands underneath the right thigh, left foot still on the wall, and we're circling around. Again, circles are very calming, and they're all throughout nature. So making these circles can, as another positive side effect. I always like to talk about positive side effects of our anti-inflammatory diet and our self-care. Well, the positive side effect here is it's sending a calming message through the central nervous system while you're getting your stretch. So, bonus. Reverse that circle. What are you doing with your head and your neck? What are you doing with your shoulders? Just check in with that and see if you can do something that's a little bit more aligned, a little bit more relaxed. Good. And then go ahead and slow that circle down. Hug that knee into the chest. Give it a big hug. Thighs close to ribs. And release it down. Now, we're going to get a little closer to the wall. So the easiest way to do that is to roll onto one side to push yourself up to sitting. I know you probably didn't want to come up to sitting. Don't worry, we're going to be back down in just a second. But I want you to move as close to your wall or your door, whatever space you're working with, so that your shoulder and your hip are flush against the wall. So then that way, when you get into this next pose, you're going to be, your butt is going to be really close to the wall. And by the way, before you lie down, you may want to just grab your pillow or your bolster, because you can use it for this next pose if you want to try that. So make sure it's close by to you. And by the way, your eye pillow too, because you're going to need that as well. Your eye pillow, your hand towel, if you're using that, is close by. Okay, so when you're close to the wall, you roll back, and then your feet are straight up the wall. And now you may need to adjust a little bit so your tailbone's a little closer to the wall. If your hamstrings are really tight, you may not be able to get close to the wall. You may need to be like 3 or 4 inches away from the wall because your hamstrings are tight. You can bend your knees a little bit too if the hamstrings are super screaming at you. But if you can extend the legs all the way straight, that's ideal. Now, we're going to do another pose, which is called Reclined Straddle. If you are at a door space and you have things right and left, you might not be able to get into this full straddle, but I will show you a modification. So what you're going to do is you're going to slide your feet on the wall as wide as they will go, maintaining flexion in your feet. Your hands can come right above the knees to the inner thighs for some support if you like, or you can have your hands resting onto your belly. This, you guys, is such an incredible stretch for your groin, inner thighs, and medial hamstring. So again, adjust yourself if you need to. Breathe deeply. The modification, if you don't have enough wall space to do this, would be reclined butterfly. So all you would do is have your bent knees into your chest, just like we did earlier, lying on our backs. The bottoms of the feet roll together to touch with the knees out wide. So you're either going to do that or you're going to be in reclined straddle. Whatever feels good and right for you, let's breathe deeply and let go. Let the wall support you. Let the floor support you. This is a great root chakra stretch. And again, the root chakra is I am grounded. I am grateful. I am safe. I have everything I need. Just remind yourself of that and be present and let go. You may feel like you can get a little bit deeper into the stretch as we go, but always protect yourself. Don't stretch too far. Don't do too much. Just take 1 or 2 more conscious breaths here. And then if you are in a reclined straddle stretch, your hands will be outside of the thighs. If you're in reclined butterfly, it would be outside of the knees. Either way, you're going to draw your legs straight up the wall now. This is legs at the wall pose. And you can either stay right here in this position, or if you want to try it with using the pillow or the bolster underneath your sacrum tailbone, you can try that as well, which is a nice release for the low back. So whatever you're wanting to try, give it a go. Again, pillows, bolsters underneath the hips, sacrum straight on the floor, legs straight up the wall. This is one of the most restorative poses ever. Again, if you're a stressed out human, if you are an athlete, a warrior that's always moving forward, this is the pose that's going to really help relax and restore your warrior spirit. Do the very best you can to let go and to be present and to stay here. Stay with me. Stay with me. Your mind is going to want to drift away. You're going to want to try to get out of the pose maybe early because you have things to do and places to go and people to see. But promise yourself that you are committed to restoring your warrior spirit and stay with me. Now, we're going to practice that 4-7-8 breath that we practiced earlier to come full circle. Do the best you can with it. It does not have to be perfect. So, very consciously, mindfully, breathe in for 4. Fill your lungs to maximum capacity and hold your breath for 7. Exhale for 8. Slowly let that air seep out, letting go, releasing, surrendering, chill power. Empty your lungs completely and do it again. Breathing in for 4. Fill your lungs to maximum capacity. Hold your breath at the top. 7. Exhale for 8. Keep exhaling, emptying your lungs, letting go, feeling as if you are letting go of things that no longer serve you. And one more time, breathing in for 4. Hold your breath. Exhaling for 8. Keep exhaling until your lungs are completely empty, making space. As you get rid of the old, you're making space for the good and the new. And just breathe normally. Breathing normally, relaxing, softening the fingertips, the jaw, the forehead, the spine, the legs. Feel free to stay here a little bit longer if this is feeling like it's exactly where you need to be. But we are going to come out of it if you're ready to move forward. So if your legs are straight up the wall again, you're going to slide your knees to your chest and your feet down the wall. If the bolster is, or the pillows are, underneath your hips, you're going to slide them out and just do easy knees to chest stretch. So hug those thighs to rib cage. And then very gently, when we move out of these really restorative poses, we don't want to cause stress in the body. So we don't want to be in a hurry here. So very as gently as you possibly can, roll yourself into a fetal position on one side. Make sure your head is resting on your arms. So your arms tucked underneath your head. Your eyes are closed. Your focus is inward. And you are committed to carrying this practice and this peace that you may feel in this moment off of your yoga mat and into the rest of your day and your life. You're going to support yourself up by pressing your hand down into your mat and coming all the way back up to sitting. You can sit up on your bolster again if you like, or you can just sit straight on the floor. Come into alignment. So remember, alignment is not only our physical body. Yes, it's really important that the heart stay open, the ears and the shoulders and the hips stay in alignment. But also what's really, really important is to carry the alignment of what you want, your intentions, your hopes, your dreams, your aspirations, into your actions. So karma is a word that means action, really, at the end of the day. It means action. It means right action, mostly. You've heard of karma, right? A lot of times we think of good karma or sometimes bad karma. But karma is neutral. Karma is really action. You get what you give. You put out and then you receive. And so it's about being in good alignment. So let's carry that thought of good karma and align our actions with our thoughts and our intentions. You can rest your hands down on two knees. Let's roll the shoulders up, back, and down and come into good alignment. So you feel your crown reaching to the sky and your tailbone anchoring down to the floor. And once again, bring your right hand to your heart and your left hand onto the belly. We're going to practice that 4-7-8 breath just one more time to seal it and to carry that calm energy off of our mat and into the rest of our lives. So just take an easy breath to prepare. And here we go. Breathing in, maximum capacity for 4. Fill your lungs as completely as you can. Hold your breath for 7. Exhale slowly for 8 and feel the calmness swash over your body. As you continue to exhale and empty your lungs, pull the belly in and back to your spine, engaging the navel chakra, the home of your soul and your spirit and your creative energy. Beautiful. Go ahead and draw your hands to your heart center. Bow to yourself in gratitude for carving out this time to practice your self-care. Commit to carrying off of your mat and into your life. Take a deep cleansing breath in as we reach the arms out and up to the sky. Reach for it, gather your joy, gather your positivity, and draw it in and back to your heart center. And I will say to you, namaste, the light within me honors and acknowledges the light that is within each of you. Yoga means unity. It means we're on this positive ripple effect together. The more that each and every one of us practices our yoga, our superfoods, our self-care, and fuels our warrior spirit, the more we can share that with the world. So thank you for being part of this. I appreciate your positive energy. And I hope that you will stay flexible and healthy and positive and carry this practice off of your mat into the rest of your day. So thanks, you guys. Stay flexible, warriors. Peace, and I'll see you very soon.